So today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite customers. When I was younger, actually from when I was a kid, my parents ran an RV repair shop. I hung out there a lot and worked there. Um, One of my favorite customers, though, I can't remember their names for the life of me. But they were an older couple. And he was a shorter man that looked, I kid you not, just like Santa Claus. And his wife was Mrs. Santa Claus, and they had two little white dogs. I don't know for sure, but I think they were, if I remember right, they were named after reindeer, but I'm not positive. But they would go on all these little adventures all over the country, driving this little Ford Ranger with the small little camper. I don't even know how they fit in it. The only thing they ever came by for was propane. And you'd see them every once in a while. I don't even know if they were from Colorado. What I do remember is that on the back it had a bumper sticker. Two of them, actually. One was U.S. Marines, and the other one said that if you're coming from the Battle of the Bulge and going to Korea, you better bring a blanket. And I finally asked him one time what that actually meant. And he proceeded to tell me about being a Marine during World War II. And being in the Battle of the Bulge and thinking that was cold. And I was a young kid and I didn't know much. I knew a little history, thanks to my mom. Yeah, I asked him about Korea, and he proceeds to tell me about going into Korea. How'd that go? He transferred from the Army into the Marines for some reason. And they went and he stayed in for like 5 or some odd years. I forgot how long the time frame is. They got deployed to Korea. And they were walking in, and it was a nice day out. And they were there for a little while. And said all of a sudden it got cold. And he proceeded to tell me about this battle. And I thought at the time that he was just telling me stories about how cold it got and watching people walk right out of their boots because their boots froze and their legs just snapped. And people being shot all around him and all this other stuff. And I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. Because the only thing Korea meant to me was, the Korean War meant to me was the TV show MASH. And he proceeds to tell me that since he survived that whole thing, well, I missed the whole spot. He told me about trying to evacuate all the wounded in the truck, and the snipers would shoot the driver, and everybody, the passenger, would get over to the driver's seat, and then somebody would hop in and, there was other people there, and they just kept driving these trucks out. And he said he saw about 4 or 5 guys get shot. Next thing he knew, he was in the driver's seat, and somehow he survived. And I'm not even telling the story well. And I said, well, that had to have changed you. He goes, yeah, it turned me into Santa Claus. Santa Claus never has a bad day. He's always happy. The funny thing is that him and his wife played that up and would hand me Christmas cookies in the middle of July sometimes. Never saw him not smile. Don't know whatever happened to him. But I'm pretty sure he always had a good day. Go have an adventure. Find yourself.